Hello friends, welcome back to the channel, and in today's topic I'm going to share with you regarding about my small account challenge that I have started last year in 15 June 2025, and right now I'm going to share with you the updates for February. Okay, so just to share why am I doing this, the first thing itself is my aim. This is more of my personal target, is actually to aim to achieve 50% growth within 1 year from opening this account. Second thing is I hope that I can share my examples so that small account investors can also start getting confidence and invest towards financial independence. And I want to show that basically you can just use a small account to start investing and you don't really need a huge account to start investing. And lastly, to share some of my insights that I have gathered along the way. So 15 February 2026, I started this account with 10,000 on 15 June 2025. So last month value on the 15th itself was 14,834. And this month, as of today on the 15th, is actually at 14,170. So you can do see that the account has dipped in terms of value. And out of this 14,170, 828 are rewards credits. The rest itself are all the profit from my stocks gains and my options trade. So this is the 8-month milestone. So based on all these profits that I've gathered, basically if you divide by the 8 month, that itself would equate to be about $417 per month. And in today's time, let's say if you want to achieve this $417, and if you're just using a pure savings account or fixed deposit account, that itself will actually require to have at least 334,000 earning at 1.5% per annum in order to get $417 per month. All right. Okay, so the next thing itself is the P&L. Okay, so this is actually the screenshot of the trading account so that we can see in terms of the fund's net asset value. I have been holding pretty much a lot of cash, but if you have been following through my journey, you would have noticed that prior to that, I was holding about 50 to 60% cash. But as of today itself, right, the cash component has slowly been dipping. And the reason being itself is I have been starting to accumulate more ETFs along the way because right now market has been pretty volatile and I find that there's a bit more opportunities for me to deploy my cash to invest at the ETF at a better price. Okay, so looking at today's performance itself, we are looking at a yield of 0.93 from year to date. So right now we can see over here. Okay, let me try to minimize my screen here. Okay, so over here, there are a few lines over here, which are all the different market performance as of today. So the yellow line over here, this itself is actually the Nikkei. Nikkei performance this year has been pretty good. So year to date, they are already at 13% per year. And I think the current PM itself has been re-elected. So people have been very bullish on the Japanese market. Then the second performer itself, right, for this purple line is actually in fact our STI. So STI itself is performing at about 6.228%, so which is pretty good. Then the blue line itself is actually a HSI. Then the next part itself over here is okay, give me a moment. Okay, the next part itself, which is actually the orange line over here. This is actually my current portfolio. So right now, fourth in position against the all the other indexes itself. Then the green line itself is the CSI 300. This is Shanghai. Then over here itself, in terms of this blue line is the S&P 500. Then lastly, this pink color line is the Nasdaq. So you can see that my portfolio itself has outperformed in terms of the SPY and Nasdaq because as of now, I think my portfolio also lean towards the US market more heavily. Hence, the recent lack of performance in the US market is actually in fact making my portfolio underperforming quite a bit. But I think so far it's fine because my aim itself is actually to continue beating the S&P 500. That itself is something that I aim to achieve. But from what we can see, we are not just limited to just the US market. There's actually other stock market itself, right, which has been performing pretty well for this year as of now. Okay, so this is the P&L. January is at 2.88%. Then February, right now on the 15th, right now I'm down about 1.89%. Still all right. Not very drastic things happening as of today. Okay, but there are a bit of changes on the stock portfolio. I have added a bit of like VOO and no, I haven't added QQQM. I have added a bit of VOO during this drawdown. So right now, both of them itself, they consist of like 27% of my portfolio. Then QQQM is at 22. But there are a few things that I added. Okay, SMH, I already have the holdings previously, and the holding was about 4 to 5%. But actually, the price increment, it went up by quite a fair bit. Hence, as of now, it's actually about 7% plus of my overall portfolio. Not going to continue adding into it. I'm going to use this as a tactical play, limit itself to about 5%. But if it's continue making profit and take a bigger chunk of my portfolio, I'm going to continue to let the winners run. Okay, but the next two things that I've added is actually this. Okay, so I have been very bullish in terms of like, okay, I have been seeing amazing things happening in the China technology market. But China technology market, I think it is not that easy to invest because it has been very pretty volatile in the market performance. Hence, I decided just to add on CQQQ, which is actually under a China Tech ETF into the portfolio. But I do not have a big exposure as of now. I might continue to increase this exposure to a maximum of 5%, but I'll see how it goes. Or I might keep it about maybe 1 to 3% at most. But the next thing that I added is actually EWH. So I actually wanted a bit of like a Hong Kong exposure also, because some of the China companies are actually in fact listed on Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So adding a bit of Hong Kong ETF into the portfolio, about 2.5% as of today. Yeah, I'm trying to diversify a bit of my portfolio, but main thematic itself, I'm still leaning US and tech because I believe that they are still the leaders of the world. Yeah, but trying to make my portfolio as stable as possible, hence starting to accumulate a bit of like other countries' ETF. Okay, Tesla is something that I already have. Ethereum and Bitcoin is something I have already have also previously, and exposure previously was about 1% plus. But you can see that the drop itself has been brutal. Ethereum has dropped about 45%, and Bitcoin has dropped about 40% since I last purchased. But not worrying at all because it takes up such a small component of the portfolio. It's basically what I'm gonna do is just hold it over there. I'm not gonna do anything and panic sell. The rest itself is all on my options trade. Has been still trading the XXP and Gold as of now. So both has still been doing pretty well for me. And I'm not spending like more than 10 minutes a day on this account. Hence, I'm just trying to make the overall portfolio as simple as possible. Okay, looking at the chart over here right now, okay, what we are looking at is that the market itself, in fact, the bullish signal is still there because we do see that there's still like in terms of like higher high. But however, you can start to notice that there's a bit of trend on the SPY, which is they have been consolidating across this pricing. So market has not been like moving really up or maybe like going down, but more of like consolidating over this period. And you do see that there's in fact a very strong resistance over here, which is under the 690 plus. So price has not been able to break the upper resistance. And as of today itself, right, what we can see that we can only say that maybe in the continued bullishness will be there, right, when there's actually a breakout from this 690 plus. And then that itself will be another all-time high market already. But looking at the overall trend itself as of today, right, prices itself over here, there's a big red candle. This was Thursday. So Thursday price has been has closed below the 50 moving average, which is one of my warning signs. Usually I see whether a market is having a transition period from bullish to bearish. So this is the first close. And the second day itself, right, it was actually going above the 50 EMA, but then subsequent itself, right, it dropped back below the 50 EMA and it closed below 50 EMA again. So right now we are at two candles below the 50 EMA and price has actually also touched the 100 SMA. So looking at this, I think I'm not going to panic yet because if today I'm looking at the overall chart basis, the bullish market is still intact. There isn't a trend that is like from bullish trending towards a bearish signal as of now because the chart doesn't show it. But if let's say this candle continues to go down and continue to close a few more candles below the 50 EMA, I would think that the 20 EMA will start to cross the 50 EMA and a short-term bearish signal might appear. And that might be the point of time that I might do something more drastic, like maybe covering the positions with insurance such as put options and stuff like that. But not going to panic now, but just trying to observe on the day-to-day basis what the market is telling me. Okay, so some noteworthy news as of now is coming Thursday is the FOMC minutes. This is definitely something that can move the market. And the core PCE, which is how the US Fed determine whether inflation is along the growth line that they want, or inflation is too high or too low. Generally, this is the trend this is the PCE index that they are following. So this news is going to be on Friday. So Thursday, Friday itself going to be news-laden week, and that itself will actually allow us to see how is the market performing at a point of time after with all the news. So I think that will be all for today. So if let's say if you got any questions, or maybe there are things that you want to ask, feel free to reach out in the comments below. And if you like videos like this, feel free to hit the like and subscribe buttons so that more videos like this will be recommended to you. So that will be all for today's video, and I will share with you more on the next video soon.